Soul fam, what's up? What it do? I hope y'all are keeping really well. I am Kat Nicoletta Monroe, for those of y'all who may not know, and this is K&M Witchery, or Readings by K&M. Happy Chinese New Year. By the way, it is this very special day of an annual calendar reset of sorts that I have decided to create this pick a card for y'all today. I'm going to be using two specifically dragon decks because it is the year of the wood dragon. So we're going to start off with the pre-shuffled dragon oracle cards. I have no idea what lies behind these cards, by the way, just yet. Did my best to turn them over. And we're going to be using the Dragon Tarot by Anne Stokes as well. So, without further ado, let's dive into what it is that you can expect, okay? Behind pile 1, 2, or 3, you are going to have a general message. I'm going to deliver everything that it is that you need to hear at the time of you tuning in to this reading. So, this is going to be valid between the dates of February 10th, 2024 until the next Chinese New Year, January 29th, 2025. This can be a nice little confirmation reading if, of course, you are tuning in closer to the end of this Chinese New Year. But either way, I'm hoping that y'all are going to get what it is that you need out of this reading. In the extended, because there is an extended, we're going to be then diving into more specific categories like love, career, health, and overall advice from your guides, and just basically anything that you need to know to really help y'all on your way. So hopefully I've explained that well enough. Like, subscribe, and definitely comment down your resonances below. If you hadn't already chosen your particular deck, trust your intuition on this one. There may be a deck or two, or perhaps even all of them, that you simply can't take your eyes off of them. Or particularly you're hearing a number in your head that's just being repeated over and over again. Or perhaps you're feeling it in your gut that behind this particular pile are the messages that you are seeking at this time. However it is that you resonate, I hope you click the timestamps down below, and I'll see you there. Hello, beautiful pile number 1. I'm so excited you are here. Without further ado, let's just dive straight on into your reading. So, the cards that you have are the Water and Fire Dragon, and it states, it enables your life to flow with loving force and to prepare for change and to move forward quickly. Expect the unexpected. Have fun. Beautiful. Second card is the Aquamarine Dragon from Neptune. Enables you to access your deepest soul wisdom. Spirituality and wisdom are available to you. Develop your psychic abilities and receive ineffable soul knowledge. I've never heard that word before. And last card, we have the Silver Dragon. Illuminates your potential with higher light. Access untapped resources. Look into your soul. See higher possibilities. Wow. So, soul fam, picking up on your energy right now, what it is that you need to hear is a nice big confirmation to trust your intuition. Water and fire are both associated with our intuition, with our emotions, with our unconscious mind. That is extra proven with Neptune here. I keep hearing Pisces, so you may have a strong Pisces placement, and if not, the area in which you have Pisces in your chart may be highly emphasized at this time, although let's not get stuck on certain things if that perhaps doesn't resonate. So, in this year of the dragon, you are to pursue your life through the lens of courage, through really trusting the insight and that gut feeling that you have when perhaps something is no longer aligned with you, meaning that perhaps this area of your life is bringing about a little bit more chaos and disruption than it used to, or perhaps this person is creating a little bit more of a I heard distance, but some of y'all may be having some like conflict with specific people. This could be work oriented. Again, this is a general reading, so we're going to dive into tarot and get some more specifics out for y'all. But it does seem that because this is feeling a little bit more like a direct confirmation to your intuition right now, you likely tuning in already know who, what, or where is simply no longer jiving with you. You know, you're kind of feeling it in your gut like, oof, I think I gotta leave, or I gotta keep some distance between me and this person, or pack up my shit and go. And yet you're here likely tuning in because there seems to be a little bit more resistance to this, right? Oftentimes fear is feared. We fear change. We fear the unknown, or so we convince ourselves that we don't know what's going to happen, or perhaps how we're going to get from point A to B. The point of y'all really trusting your intuition is really accepting that you already hold the key. Okay? So now it's a matter of really building rapport with yourself enough to action accordingly, and in many ways prove yourself right. So you can no longer go through these experiences of repeated karmic lessons that you know you have long grown out of. This is something that has likely come up time and time again for y'all, soul fam, and you just know, and yet are a little bit afraid that you gotta move on. So without further ado, let's move these cards up here and dive into what tarot has to say. I'm going to shuffle on in here for y'all and get some general information. This card really wants to speak out. We have the Nine of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, the something that fell onto the floor, and that is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so lots of Pentacles energy right now. That's coming out. What else we got? I heard two more. Two more cards, pile number one. What does pile number one need to hear? We have the Five of Cups, womp womp, okay. As well as the Ten of Pentacles. All right, some more Pentacles with a little bit of emotions, and we have Justice at the bottom of the deck. To be honest, soul fam, what I'm gonna do is kind of like move these cards over because we are going to be pulling more. Okay, this one really wants to make itself known, so we're gonna shift this disorganization over a little bit, soul fam, my bad. The first pile is always a little bit of a guesswork because I'm such an intuitive reader, so anyways, who cares? Enough blabbing. You're like, get on with it. Okay, so starting off with the Nine of Pentacles with the Three of Pentacles, okay? This is where we begin to really start daydreaming, if you will, about our own independence within a potential collaboration, okay? When we're thinking about the Three of Pentacles, this is where we find a great unity between ourselves and two other parties, okay? Perhaps there had been a beautiful envisioned balance with your work, life, and family that you are really looking to pursue at this time. And in order to do that, it requires this sense of independence, of you really gauging your own might, I'm just hearing, your own courage, your own sense of wisdom enough to like take control and enforce this balance. Because as of the oracle portion of today's reading, it seems as though this Three of Pentacles energy is more so in reverse, and yet we're going to have it upright. So what it is that you can expect throughout this Chinese New Year is, in fact, you finding a lot more stability through enacting individuality and pursuing your own intuition and actioning. Okay, because the thing is about manifestation that a lot of people tend to neglect is, in fact, trusting in your intention and manifestation so wholeheartedly that you act as if, and you place down those pentacles more and more and more in order for you to truly build. And you do so with your own physical efforts. And the Queen of Pentacles in the middle here is telling me that you're going to feel more grounded in yourself as it is that you are going down this wonderful journey, however it is that it resonates with y'all, okay? And you're going to be finding this like finite confidence within you, like you can't be shaken. The Queen of Pentacles knows who she is. Now, you can be a male tuning in, okay? Energy is just energy, but the Queen of Pentacles knows who she is. She is humble. She is beautiful. And she thrives on her confidence in her own intellect because she knows that her thoughts become things. And so she makes sure that her narrative is one that is leading her into the direction that she needs to go. Notice that this dragon is facing forward. I just heard forward. All right. Now, the Five of Cups here does tell me that there may likely be an emotional release that could come with this experience, okay? Because when we are looking to rebalance something and perhaps maybe shift into a new direction, it comes with some form of grievances. And I want to tell y'all, Soul Fam, that that's okay. Being an emotional person is what really truly makes you human. So you can be incredibly confident and independent and collaborative and find this beautiful balance in your life, whatever that balance may look like for you individually, and still mourn a life that once was, a life that perhaps maybe you really miss. And again, I say that is okay. When we are about to uncover something that is truly fruitful and our wishes are granted in the physical realm, oftentimes we go through a plunger, if you will. Perhaps maybe that's not the right verbiage, but like we fall down a rut, so to speak. We really feel our loss. It's like we have all of these tower moments, but the reason why, at least not yet, the Tower card hasn't come out in your reading is because the Tower card typically comes out when the divine forces change upon you, when you neglect to make the appropriate changes and decisions yourself to enact that change. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So the Five of Cups is inevitable when you're going through a transition of sorts, whatever that transition may be, from you going from being one type of person or in a particular place or in a business or having a friendship to finding that ultimate fulfillment that perhaps maybe requires some form of a loss in the process. But with Justice out here as well, shows me that you are again taking that initiative and you are finding and enforcing this balancing yourself. Remember what that first card stated. Prepare for change and to move forward quickly. Expect the unexpected and have fun. The unexpected could perhaps be that it works out that much better than you were initially thinking. And so it's important for us never to get too caught up in our losses that we completely miss the window of opportunity for us to obtain that balance that is now rightfully ours. You have accumulated the right types of experiences and lessons for you to now transition into obtaining everything it is that you are really truly wanting throughout this year. So go forth, soul fam. Why stop now? Emotions are normal. So go through the process of grievances and, feel sad and sorry for yourself if you must for a little bit. It's okay to miss a version of yourself or of a place or a friend or a workplace. That's okay. But in order for you to stay stuck in experiences that no longer align for you, just so you can keep actually maximizing on this experience, so much so that a tower moment comes in and wipes everything out clean for you, yikes. That's really unfavorable, right? So this is how it is, soul fam, that we begin to take more so control over our own lives and our destiny. Yes, things happen sometimes, and things and people and places phase out of our lives. But the more that we are welcoming to change, the less we have to experience more of that unexpected torment. Because oftentimes, now I'm not talking about every single life experience, okay? So I'm just going to put a caveat on that. But you're no longer going to wait for the shoe to drop. That's outside of your control when you can already perceive it. You are so highly intuitive, soul fam, that you already hold the key to your future and how life could really be and look like. So to stop now and solely do so because you don't want to feel low will only maximize that lower feeling, if that makes sense, right? So again, allow yourself to be human and be sad once in a while. Like, it's okay. And also know when it is that things are falling apart in order for your true ultimate fulfillment to step right on in. Next card is the Knight of Pentacles. Yes, we gotta work for it. The Knight of Pentacles is willing to take the long road, the slow road if they must. Now, this is a year-long reading that I'm channeling into. So take your time and allow all of the types of experiences to incur in order for you to reach this ultimate fulfillment, because the time is now to do so. Now, for those of y'all whom are perhaps new to my channel, you haven't yet heard me say the phrase that I take everything that occurs within a reading as a particular metaphor. Well, to further this point, I've had to change my battery in my camera 3 times. 3 times in order for me to facilitate this reading for y'all today. Which does tell me that you're going to have to take some extra time and precautions for yourself, soul fam. Again, take your time in order to really process and experience and go through. Oftentimes, we go through this very human expectation that as soon as we decide on something, everything is just going to fall into place, right? And it's not necessarily change that we're afraid of, but more so the immediacy of it, if that makes sense. It's like, as soon as we leave, then we're no longer going to be talking to all of these people. Like, let's say if it's like a job, right? Oftentimes we may be doing something that we absolutely hate, but we choose to stick around because we really like the people. Or perhaps maybe we don't really like the people, but we feel guilty about adding extra workload onto them. You know what I'm saying? So we're like, oh, if I leave, then all of this is immediately going to crumble for myself and for absolutely everyone else. So I'm just going to stick and stay in this particular experience for as long as I possibly can for the sake of not feeling this. And yet you're still going to be feeling this 5 of Cups energy regardless, right? So perhaps there may be a few times throughout this year or this junction of your life where you are to keep replenishing your battery, and do so kindly and with grace, soul fam. Luckily, I have spare batteries that are charging up ready to go. So the issue wasn't a great one for me to just simply plug and play and just replace, right? I've allowed myself through the right types of experiences of having batteries shut down and having to wait an hour or two for things to replenish itself. Like, to bring this back to your reading, Soul Fam, you have already gone through the right types of experiences and lessons that have taught you how to prepare for what is to come. And yeah, sure, it may be inconvenient for a little bit, but you've already got everything that you need. The Knight of Pentacles is stating that you can take the long road because you have everything that is required for you to endure it. And sometimes, especially if we're going to be talking about stability, and notice that there's a lot of pentacles that came out here, okay? Y'all are creating a new foundation in your life. This can be very well work-oriented, okay? But I don't always want to just get stuck on one particular type of theme in our lives, because everybody tuning in can, of course, use their intuition and their own personal resonance. And you can really stabilize a foundation better when you take your time laying the bricks as opposed to rushing the job. Sometimes quicker isn't always better, you know? And I think that this is something that you do know. Henceforth, this is a really beautiful reminder that just because you may not be seeing immediate results and you're going through these highs and lows, that it's still okay and it's still working out. You got to really trust in the simple fact that your roots are grounding you, and sometimes you may not exactly see the growth, right? Like if we plant a seed and we're waiting for the bud to sprout, and you're sitting there and you're watering this soil and you're giving it the appropriate amount of sunlight, but apparently nothing is happening. What you don't see beneath the soil is that seed busting open, and all of these beautiful roots are really taking place and grounding themselves before they are able to withstand the growth of the tree or the whatever plant it is that you're envisioning in this metaphor and scenario, okay? So this is you right now planting those seeds and you taking your time, because the strongest tree that is able to withstand the most wicked weather has the deepest roots. Roots strong enough to sustain the wildest of winds. This is how. And so when you're going through these experiences, and I keep coming back to this Five of Cups because when it comes to the human experience, oftentimes when we are feeling a little bit sad, or we're going through kind of like depressing episodes, if you will, or perhaps maybe anxieties, we immediately think something's wrong with us, when that's the furthest thing from the truth. Matter of fact, you're more human and more aligned than you've probably ever even allowed yourself to be. So how beautiful is it that you can feel the full spectrum of emotions and thus be able to appreciate the outcome that much more? There is power in all of the emotions. And again, Soul Fam, that really truly does come with an intuitive mind. Oftentimes our emotions are negated as some form of mental illness, or like I said, like a problem. Oh, I'm just really emotional and I have these outbursts and things like that. What? Perhaps maybe you're just so intuitive and have such a deep connection with your unconscious mind that you, unlike many people in the world, actually have the ability to express themselves. Why must we immediately look at ourselves as something or someone that's broken? Cancel that narrative. No, I am strong because I am in tune with my emotions. Now I'm bringing this all up right now, Soul Fam, because there's fire and water, aquamarine. There is a deep emotional process that is occurring for y'all, Soul Fam. Pile number 1. Please notice that your emotions are very well the thing that's going to propel you forward. And with all of this energy of pentacles, of something that is very grounded, we must have some water. Think of Mother Earth in general. She is made up of more water than we've ever known, depths that we have not yet even discovered. We have no idea what truly lies beneath. Which again brings in the metaphor of you truly rooting and grounding yourself, Soul Fam. So if that means that you're going to have a bit more emotions throughout this experience, well, I'm here to tell y'all that that just further exclaims the validation of your manifestation. And it's really pushing you forward. So to negate your emotions, to suppress them, to criticize them and call yourself crazy is the opposite. Instead, sit with them. Choose to, again, mourn if you must. Mourn the version of yourself. Mourn the memories if you must. And yet still choose to be like, okay, this is just part of the experience, and I know that what lies ahead is everything that I have been working for and envisioning, and I can do this. The 9 of Pentacles says that you already have the abilities, and the fact that we're going from the 9 to the 10, wow, just further solidifies that. And you're going to have more of this beautiful collaboration with yourself and full balancing of life. However this is resonating with you, you're going to gain the right confidence. Sure, you may feel a little bit sad along the way, and yet you already know that this is to rebalance yourself and continue to set the right types of stones in place and lay down the strongest foundation you possibly can. Because that is the power you fucking hold, pile number 1. And your time is now to embrace that. Emotions are just a small component of it. And in fact, it is through emotions that you're able to feel happiness, joy, fulfillment, connection, and love. So to reject that, or to choose to remain stagnated because you don't want to feel the temporary sad and quote-unquote negative feelings, which, by the way, there are no negative feelings, they're just uncomfortable, is silly. Choose to move forward. Sit with them. You can get therapy. You can book with me at K&M Witchery, okay? I do offer forms of therapy as well, with hypnotherapy as well as NLP. I'm board certified with the American Board of NLP and Hypnotherapy, okay? Or get a reading with me, or with anybody else. It doesn't even have to be through K&M Witchery, Soul Fam. I'm just letting y'all know that this is something that I could offer. But whatever resources you have around you, Soul Fam, utilize them, especially if they're going to bring that sense of balance. The 5 of Cups, the 5 in general, also notes change and a push for action towards that change. Sometimes, in certain cases, that action is simply allowing yourself to fucking feel something. So allow yourself to do that and witness how quickly things tend to fall into place when you allow yourself to do that. Next card, we have the 9 of Wands, the 5 of Swords, and another card that, of course, had to fall on the floor. Let me go grab that. We have the... Oh, come on. Why are you being so difficult to pick up? Oh, these nails. I tell you. we have the Ten of Wands alongside the Star, okay? So there was in fact 2 cards that fell on the floor. Now, the Star being here is telling me that these cards here are in fact meant to occur for you, okay? So Soul Fam, I'm not going to be the type of reader ever that will only tell you things that you really want to hear and paint the rainbow perspective of all experiences. No, I take into account all aspects of life and the human experience, okay? And there will likely be some form of, you know what? It's really going to be up to you how it is that you choose to react to other people's opinions of you with the Five of Swords, okay? And whether or not you have the ability to say yes or no, whichever answer it is that is required of you is opposite to what it is that you have been doing. So if you've been saying yes all the time, it's time to say no so that you can start saying yes to yourself. And that's especially true here with the 9 and 10 of Wands, okay? Wherever it is, Soul Fam, and I bring this up in the very beginning of your reading, that you already know what no longer aligns, Soul Fam. It is now, with the Star here, time for you to pull the trigger, to enact the change in your life. You have a potential to make all of your wishes come true. So the amplitude of the gossip and negativity and required line of defense and likely exhaustion that you could feel is up to you. You can choose to continue to play victim of your circumstances, or you can take control and again put a finale on what it is that you already know, Soul Fam. No longer aligns. You already know. And your wish will come true as soon as you allow yourself to learn this lesson. Because Soul Fam, if you're going to continue on through life, doing everything you possibly can to make sure everyone else is happy, you are going to be miserable. And that's also never to say that choosing yourself makes you incredibly selfish, because that's also another narrative that is incredibly false. Matter of fact, the more that you fill into your own cup, Soul Fam, the more that you're able to spill onto others, onto your family, your friends, your colleagues, your community, the world. When you are constantly depleted and dealing with toxic people and experiences willingly, just because you've decided that you got to put up with it, this is just part, like, what? You end up depleting your battery so much that you don't change it. You don't charge it up. You just allow yourself to wither away. And there's only so long, Soul Fam, that you can operate at 5 or 10%. And matter of fact, if you don't allow yourself the required breaks to recharge that battery, the breaks tend to be much longer. And again, usually disguised as tower moments. This is often expressed by, knock on wood, of course, any sort of accidents that take place, right? That kind of force you to sit on your ass. And yet, all of this time, for weeks, people, and even yourself, in the back of your mind have been saying, take a break, you need a break, slow down. But you refused. No, I gotta go, I gotta do this, and this is just how it is, and you've convinced yourself of a narrative that is completely sucking you dry until something happened that now is enforcing this rest upon you. you can bypass that in many cases when you just simply choose to take control. And so whatever it is that you have been wishing for, Soul Fam, is yours to obtain. The time is now. The question is, are you willing to trust in your intuition and this deep knowing in order to pursue your 10 of Pentacles? Well, that part, Soul Fam, is up to you. So, without further ado, I did hear my snaps on your reading. We're going to continue on in the extended, where we're really going to dive into more specifics. We're going to dive into your love life this year, your career, your health, and any additional advice that is required for you to truly find the utmost abundance throughout this Chinese New Year. So I hope to see y'all there. The link is already listed in the description box below, or I hope to see y'all in another pile or in another video in general. Thank you so much for being here. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment down your resonances. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. What's up? What it do? So glad you are here. Let's dive on into the general messages, things that you need to hear for this particular Chinese New Year. Right off the bat, we've got Silver Lunar Dragon bathes you in divine feminine light. Come into balance and practice peace, harmony, and cooperation. Expand your causal chakra. All right. Next up, we have Air and Fire Dragon. Expands your creative energies. Harness your creativity, excitement, and enthusiasm. Communicate your passion. Love it. And lastly, we have Golden Christed Dragon. Brings you higher love so that you embody the Christ light. Absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain 5th dimensional. Soul Fem. Pile number 2. I'm gonna tell you that this particular Chinese New Year is going to really have you more so, if not awaken, because I think y'all are already awakened in your divine femininity, but likely more so step into it even further, okay? Now, even if you are a man tuning in, okay, or more so identify as male energy, however it is that that resonates with you. Female energy is something that we all have, feminine energy rather, okay? And this is that part of like the yin yang that we gotta look into. It is the black part of the yin yang. And this ultimately is telling me, Soul Fam, that this is going to be a year where y'all are really going to be learning how to accept. That's right. You're going to be pulling in some really beautiful experiences and abundance and community and furthering in your progression as far as the connection you have with your overall intuition. And it differs greatly, I would say, from pile number 1. As pile number 1, it was more so about trusting in this intuition. This here is about embracing your intuition and sitting in divine light and unconditional love. Because when we're thinking about Christ love, this is unconditional love. And what unconditional love isn't necessarily that, oh, I'm gonna love you while you abuse me. Cancel, cancel. No. It's rather holding appropriate boundaries and respect for yourself, whilst also being able to hold love for yourself and others in the process. It is literally deconditioning what love means in relationships, in life in general. and in particular, obviously, in love. And allowing that to be the greatest expansion of the human existence in form of a connection. This tells me that when it comes to grounding in your intuition and embodying your sense of creation, you are going to be able to attract more and more throughout this year. And of course, we're going to be diving into the tarot portion here. It may be quite a learning curve for you. Because as much as it's exciting to be like, wow, I'm going to attract it all, there must also be an allowance thereof. You see, I'm getting this tinge that pile number 2, you may not be used to receiving. You may perhaps feel guilty of doing so, or may even be blocked from obtaining the absolute fullest potential and abundance that is readily available to you. Because you may be blocked off to it due to limited beliefs or that condition. You may have been conditioned to believe, let's say, that money is the root of all evil. Cancel, cancel. How often have we heard that? Well, it's because of such a mentality that you may not actually be as wealthy as you possibly can because you view money as something that is incredibly negative. So why in the world would the universe grant you more of something that you deem evil? Y'all feeling what I'm saying? So really embracing this divine light and this divine feminine energy will require you to be open and also be ready to create a space for this abundance, however this abundance may look like to you. Now, this is a general reading. In the extended, we're going to be diving into specific categories like your love, career, health, and any additional advice from spirit to you. But as of right now, so fam, this is going to be a year where you are to really truly embrace and step into your divine feminine power, and also know that divine femininity requires some form of destruction. And the destruction that is required here is of the past limiting beliefs and conditions that had once limited you from being all that you can truly be in this lifetime. So this is a spectacular opportunity for y'all to grow and pursue greater than you have possibly ever been told. Because I already know that y'all have imagined it for yourself. So that is absolutely beautiful. I would say let's dive into tarot and see what messages lie here for y'all. Okay, so the first 5, I'm hearing this. Oh, we're gonna do that. Reverse or not reverse? I heard reverse. Okay, so this is gonna go here. I am an intuitive reader, by the way, so if this triggers some of y'all, respectfully, tough shit. All right, and this I'm hearing upright. So we have the Page of Wands, the Moon, the 9 of Pentacles, alongside the 10 of Wands and the 5 of Swords in reverse. This is going to be a year, soul fam, where the more that you embrace and build on your intuition, the more you're actually going to courageously build upon your independence here, and confidence and stability and belief in oneself. Okay, I think this is like the ultimate message here for y'all, pile number 2. With the Moon as well as the Page of Wands, this is now asking y'all to embrace the fire within. Okay, the Page of Wands loves to play. So play in forms of spirituality this year. Okay, open up to things like hypnotherapy, like spell work, like manifestation, like changing the fucking narrative. Okay, and taking full control of your life while being open to truly receive all that you were meant to receive in this lifetime. Did y'all know that money is feminine energy? I just heard some of y'all go, what? What do you mean? Feminine energy attracts. Money is attractive. Y'all feeling what I'm saying? So, in order to attract, you must become attractive. And that's not about physical attraction. This is about energy, baby. Energy. And what's really beautiful, with the 10 of Wands and the 5 of Swords in reverse, y'all are going to be blocked from people whom have perhaps maybe implemented some of these conditions and limiting beliefs into you. Okay? It's almost as if you're going to be so divinely protected that you're barely even going to see the naysays and the, let's just put it in this perspective. I'm going to use myself as a really quick example, right? I am a psychic medium, someone whom is quite fluent in divine feminine energy, okay? And to be honest, Soul Fam, that shit terrified me for the longest time to come out and really state my authenticity and be like, this is who I am, this is what I'm capable of, etc., right? But the more that I chose to trust in my light and in my messages and showing up as consistently as I have been, the less I've in fact attracted people whom broke me down. You know, like my fear of being seen, my fear of attracting the right type of tribe, stopped me from actually showing up authentically and in fact actually creating more of toxicity and depletion in my life, you know? And so even though I may not have a gazillion views and engagements, my spirit, the spirit that I'm trusting in so wholeheartedly, wow, I can't speak. Y'all might actually have a fear of speaking as well. There was a few times that my throat kind of like gave out and it like burned. So speaking your truth, Soul Fam, may be something that is quite difficult for you to do at the time of perhaps maybe tuning in, which is another reason why you're being really influenced at this time to communicate your passions, okay? And using myself as an example, perhaps maybe my views aren't where it is that society should deem I should be, right? Because if I'm so good, then why aren't I incredibly popular? Well, the time will come for something like that, but my spirit team, my energy in general is demanding authenticity and safety and protection and high Christed love, unconditional love that most people in society, as of right now at the very least, are incapable of. And that's no disrespect to them. But that's also noting the amount of self-awareness and work that I had done on myself, the depths that I was willing to go in for myself, to bathe myself and awaken this divine feminine energy. So much so that it literally flicks those who do not align with me out of my energy. I don't see them. So if that means that my views, for example, are limited temporarily, I know that I'm reaching the right types of people and energies who actually require my types of messaging, that are authentic, that are helpful, as opposed to stereotypical and popular, for example. And I've done that whole thing, you know, like I've I've tried to dabble in different types of readings. I've done the astrological readings in a sense where it's like, okay, I'm just going to read for the sign of Aries, right? But that didn't really resonate much with me because then I was like, well, shoot, what if someone who doesn't have a predominant Aries energy needs these messages but misses them? Did I want to do just love readings that promise an incoming love? Sure, but that wasn't authentic to me. Although I can see the most popular types of readers, and this is absolutely no shade to them, they have an abundance of people who tune in for the promise of an incoming soulmate or twin flame, since we're talking about divine femininity. But I know, based on my own personal experiences and connection to spirit, that it's not such a popular experience. And there's more depth in this than what is the cliche messaging that's being shared right now. You know what I mean? It's like an illusion. Meanwhile, you, Soul Fam, know that there is something greater that you can offer that perhaps maybe is so unique that it's bloody terrifying to put out there. And yet, this is how you attract. This is how you truly become a beautiful merger of higher power. Oftentimes, people equate the higher self as the future version of themselves, whilst negating the simple fact that your higher self alongside your inner child is already here within you. It's a matter of peeling back those onion layers down to your essence, to acknowledge them, to love them, to incorporate these types of energies into your very being, so much so that you're no longer fragmented from it. It's not something that is so far away from you, but rather what is you. Y'all feeling me? Good. So dabble. The moon energy coming out too as well with this divine feminine energy is beautiful, because feminine energy, for the most part, in Indian mythology, the moon is actually the masculine and the sun is feminine. But generally speaking, and of course as aligning to these particular messages here, especially with the moon there as well, it is feminine energy. And we go through all of these phases. Notice how from one full moon to the other full moon is like a month, you know what I mean? Give or take, right? Like there's all of these different types of cycles that we must be open to. The destruction as well as the creation, and how it forms together as a very beautiful unity, that you can't have one without the other. And if you can, it's very temporary and it's fleeting. Whereas something that's concrete and whole, something that you can birth, that takes some time. So this year, Soul Fam, male or female tuning in, don't matter. However it is that you identify, you're going to really embrace and integrate more of this beautiful openness and ability to create into your day-to-day life. That by the end of this Chinese New Year, you're going to truly recognize just how energetically attractive you can be. That is beautiful. All power to you. Wow, Soul Fam, if you're resonating with pile number 2, holla down below. Please subscribe, join the tribe, because it is beautiful, powerful souls like you that I have this wonderful privilege of connecting with, and I would love to connect with more and more of y'all and talk to you, and yeah. Oh. Judgment comes out Okay, Judgment did come out in reverse, so we will honor it as such. Honestly, I don't even think, again, you're not even going to notice people talking shit about you. And if you do, it's not even going to phase you. You know what I mean? Like, Judgment coming out in reverse isn't you falsely missing your opportunity for evolution. No. It's the reverse. It's you not even being phased and touched by those whom can potentially cause you harm and stop you on your way. This is divine feminine light after all. When you step in your divinity, soul fam, you can basically be unfucking touchable. Now, of course, we still have the human experience, so no, you're not going to become some god, okay? As much as I wish for some things like that sometimes. It's really, truly about, again, that unconditional love. And if you resonate with this so far, so fam, and you are still here, this is only the beginning for you, babes. Oh my God, I'm so excited for y'all. We have Temperance, yes, and you are being divinely led to do this, soul fam. You have a purpose. You have a purpose. A true channel of connection that this world needs you to communicate and come out with more. And as you do so, you will attract the right type of community, the finances, the love and appreciation and respect. You will feel more beautiful. You will feel more fulfilled and whole. Imagine feeling whole. Notice as well, as soon as I acknowledge the fear of being seen and speaking out, that I stopped fumbling my words. It's as simple as changing a narrative and acknowledging, okay, this is what I need to work on. And as soon as I do that and I love myself for it and I integrate what it is that I need, boom, here we are. There's a metaphor in everything, soul fam. What else we got for pile number 2? What does pile number 2 need to know, generally speaking? This card, the Six of Swords and the Devil. Okay. We're going to pull one more card and complete this spread. Oh, of course it has to fall on the floor. Uno segundo. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Hell yeah, ultimate fulfillment. Love it, love it, love it. So, honestly, when it comes down to it, I know that religion plays a high role, especially because we have both Christ love and the devil out here, okay? When it comes down to feminine energy, okay, you have the embodiment of both dark and light in one. Okay, the feminine energy is able to both destroy as well as create. And so it is less about fearing your absolute potential, but rather embracing it and almost like building a bridge towards it. You know, you're not fighting those parts of yourself. And again, this is the conditioning. That devil is the condition that's keeping you stuck and stagnant. That, let's say, speaking your mind and sharing your abilities, your talents, your creations, however that may be. I'm not even saying that you got to become a tarot reader, okay? I am saying, though, that if you have a passion towards, I don't know, let's say baking, you better start cracking them eggs open into some whatever you make it. I'm not a baker. But you better start creating. You know what I mean? I'm putting some love into it. Because somebody down the line saw the potential, saw the possibilities of you being all that you can be. And they said, no. They said, you can't do that. That business is going to fail. Etc., etc. Cancel. No. Instead, the Six of Swords is really ultimately about moving away from one to the other, right? And you go through this like field of fog, if you will. It's more so of like a lake or river is usually depicted, but nevertheless, you're crossing over. And the simple fact that the Ten of Pentacles comes out here as a form of ultimate fulfillment and abundance, physical payment and reimbursement of energy, time, money, you're going to get this. The more that you pursue and stand in this beautiful, unconditional Christ love and embody this truly, the devil can no longer reach you. And sure, the devil may try. As soon as you are on this path to true ascension, you have an influx of haters and naysayers, and yet they can't reach you. And trust me, look, as a spiritual person and a psychic medium, one that's more of an omniist than following one of like just one particular religion and belief system, the devil can cause chaos and turmoil and really kind of trap you in, okay? But he knows where to take his fucking business. After a point, he knows whom is, in a way, I don't want to say untouchable, but like, why would he spend time on someone whom has so clearly surpassed his vibrational reach? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's good and bad in everything. That's a fact. And how it is that you use your level of destruction and creation will make or break whether or not you're in Christ love, okay? Which, if you're not religious like myself, this could just mean, again, unconditional love. You decondition yourself from particular types of beliefs that limit you, okay? He's gonna go somewhere else. So the message here, Soul Fam, is this year you're going to find your power. And now, of course, should you choose to create and destroy using satanic energy, okay? And satanic energy is more so about the aspect of free will. That's what the devil introduces. Well, it's free will. You can commit crime. You can be a heinous person. I mean, no one's really stopping you. And that's true. And yet it's a form of manipulation that is so dark that it almost entraps you with, well, more dangerous types of beliefs, which again limit you, that keep you stuck, that say the only way through is for you to do something evil, if you will. Or if not even onto others, because the devil isn't also, I know that the devil is often seen as like an evil person, okay? And again, neutralize this fucking energy is what I'm saying here, Soul Fam. Neutralize. Because once you neutralize negative energy, you have a better control over the narrative. And you recognize that your powers, your abilities, your foresight, your love was never something bad, but rather a really wonderful power that you can use. So use it to your greatest abilities. However it is that this resonates with you, reach new heights because you can. And begin to shush the so-called devils in your life. And they may try for a little bit, Soul Fam. This may be a year that you will know. You will know. You will have full awareness. Perhaps maybe people are going to be talking negatively about you. They're going to want to keep your energy really dry. Like the 10 of Wands is the inability to say no. It's the inability to say no to other people because you've been told that you have to do this or be this certain way for your friends, for your family, for your job, and yet you're completely depleted. Instead, you start saying yes to yourself. And this energy no longer impacts you. And the only true judgment is your own. Okay? I know that they often say, and this is very religion based again, but that like only God can judge me. True, but you're a human. So the only one that can really judge you right now is here in the human experience. So why not make your own judgments of yourself as opposed to integrate other people's judgments of you into yourself? Because when you increase the value of yourself, you increase the value that's all around you. When you love yourself more and you are willing to truly be open to more good, good flows in. Whatever good is. It could be money, it could be relationships, it could be the community. Whatever it is in this physical realm, Soul Fam, you will be able to obtain. Sure, it may be a slow and steady growth, but as long as you are standing in your authenticity and in your own light and loving yourself, and thus using that love to pay it forward and really spread it out into the world, you will gain the right types of alignments with it. Which is so much of the reason why I feel so honored and blessed, Soul Fam, that you are tuning into this reading with me today. My readings touch a limited amount of people right now for a reason. And you chose to be here today. That speaks volumes. And I know your power because you're a reflection of mine. So the true question is this year, are you willing to get out of your own way and decondition the false narratives and limiting beliefs that had once been instilled upon you and turn them into love, transmute them into your ultimate truth and authenticity? Well, that part's up to you, babes. And the choice is yours. And honestly, Soul Fam, I think it's going to be much easier than you expected. So go forth and expand your wonderful creative energy and make this life, this year, this existence something that you can be ultimately so proud of and claim as your own. And the right people will come in, just as the ones who no longer serve you or align with you will just drop away. And that may hurt a little bit, and yet it's worth the price to pay, don't you think? I did hear my snaps on this particular general reading, so if you've resonated and you would like to dive into the extended, it is already linked down below. As mentioned already, we're going to be diving into more specific details and categories of your life, including love, career, health, and any other advice that is meant for you to hear at this time. So join the VIP Soul Fam. You will have access to this extended and every other extended, plus so much more content that is tailored to your divinity. Holla. Join the Soul Fam or don't. And that's okay too. Either way, I hope to see y'all in another pile or in another reading in general. I love you, Soul Fam. Thanks so much for tuning in. Peace. Hello, pile number 3. So excited you decided to spend your time with me. If we're gonna rhyme, we may as well go at it. Here are your general messages for this Chinese New Year. Let's jump right on in. First, we have Earth and Water Dragon creates the foundations for new growth. A fresh start is coming with new opportunities. Nurture your ideas and harvest the abundance. Okay, good start so far. Next on the list, we have Alpha Dragon. Oof. Harness the divine masculine power of creation. Shut up. Sorry, like this is great because, okay, spoiler alert, pile 2 had divine feminine energy. So this is pretty freaking cool. Destroy the old, visualize your dream, help to manifest a new world. All right, now we're going to be talking about some more masculine energy. Love it. Last and definitely not least, look at this powerful dragon. Thor's red, black, and gold dragon. Protects you in times of change. A time of rapid transition and transformation. Relax. You're safe. Okay, so as feminine energy attracts, masculine energy pursues, okay? But let's talk this through even more, okay? This year, y'all are gonna have this, I just heard like this gusto. I don't even know if that makes any sense to anyone. But it's like your level of leadership, of motivation, of inspiration is going to be through the freaking roof. And y'all are literally going to be able to create the new earth with this type of energy. Gone are the days that you are following the trends. And not to say that you ever did, because some of y'all got offended and you were like, we get it. You're not the only one in here, soul fam. But pile number 3, you're really going to be the trailblazer for many a people. And a lot of people are unable to reach the caliber of your energetic magnitude because being a leader, as much as a lot of people want to be one, takes a lot more guts than most even acknowledge. Because to be a leader, a true captain, if you will, of a ship, means that you go down last. That although you're the one that trudges forward first, you ensure the safety and the protection of everyone else behind you, thus placing them in front of you. True masculine energy brings forth a level of safety in such a magnitude that it's absolutely intimidating to any sort of predator. And perhaps sometimes you lack the courage, but courage, true courage, and true bravery never minds the fear. Someone who is a true leader will do it scared, just to help others believe in themselves enough to do the same. See, pile number 3, your energy is vastly different from pile number 2's, because instead of creating and cultivating the type of life that you can kick back in some peace in, which, by the way, there's no right or wrong or like better or worse way to do this, okay? There's just different ways of obtaining the same outcome, okay? Because this is definitely not going to be the typical war that currently exists, men against women or whatever, masculine versus feminine, etc. This is you cultivating your own approach to obtain peace. And some of y'all are required to fight. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be called out to go into like some sort of a war this year or anything, but what it is that you are doing is like you're running forward towards a better life for yourself and for your family and for your community, however it is that you resonate. You're literally taking the bull by its fucking horns and saying, this is me, this is who I am, and I'm going to take charge. And there's a really humble layer to this as well that I'm feeling through this, because a true alpha considers his entire tribe. This isn't, you're not doing this for selfishness and tyranny, self-gratification. No, you're doing this because you're empowered to be the one to help people, to create the foundation that you want to see in the world. And again, you're gunning forth to do that. Whew. Who are you? Say hello in the comments down below. Would love to talk to you. Actually, we're going to keep these out here as well because I want y'all to really bask in this power that is masculine energy. Hell yeah. And there's no masking here. There's no wolf in sheep's clothing. Like, nah. This is you innately becoming who it is that you have long aspired yourself to be. That's hot. I like it. I like to see it. Now, it doesn't matter whether you are male or female. I will put that out there. Energy is what energy is. We have the devil out on the table. Okay, I do hear Capricorn, so Capricorn is affiliated with devil, so you may have that. Capricorn also rules that leadership as well. We have the Six of Cups. Okay, a really beautiful return on investment, by the way. I think perhaps maybe once upon a time, the past hadn't served you well, and so with the devil and the Six of Cups here, you may have potentially attempted to be a leader in the past, but you crumbled due to XYZ reasons, whatever it is. You know, this is a general reading, so there's no point of me diving into all of that. But nevertheless, you had felt limited before. It didn't really work out. You didn't feel the power. But something's changed. A new opportunity has come around for you. And this year feels different for you, doesn't it? Well, let's find out more. Okay. Knight of Cups. I'm going to put this upright. I am an intuitive reader, by the way, so if that triggers you, respectfully, tough shit. Knight of Cups, the Fool, Four of Swords, lots of stability I'm feeling here. Knight of Cups is a new introduction to emotions, I want to say, with y'all, okay? Especially because of the Fool here. So this is where I'm saying it has like this really beautiful balance of, yes, power and motivation and leadership, but also kindness and love and community, a sense of being a true protector. And again, taking in this like alpha mentality here, oftentimes the narrative that's generally going about right now in social media is that like you, as let's say if you are a man, because I think a lot of y'all are going to be masculines tuning in here. So like men are not allowed to have feelings. And every single time that they had expressed any sort of sadness, let's say, perhaps even the women in their lives had thrown them away and told them to man up and like all of this, like just bullshit in my personal opinion. By the way, a truly emotional, intelligent woman would never do that to you. Okay? Just as a truly emotionally intelligent man would never negate a woman's feelings either. There's a deep consideration here that I'm feeling a balance thereof. And it seems like this year, you're turning the obstacles that you had faced in the past that had reared you from truly becoming a loving, protective, inspiring leader before into something that is much more attainable. The Four of Swords brings in a level of peace, also stability, because there's like 4 pillars here. Swords are also encompassing the mind, the intellect, the level of peace that you're going to find on a mental note that's going to help make you feel okay to begin to express yourself emotionally in a way that you have never felt capable of before. Now, I do want to reiterate that this doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're going to turn into one big crybaby or something, okay? Although, hey, if you do, whatever. I mean, we all have to go through it once in a while. If there's any consolation, I myself went through a deep spout of healing and like dark night of the soul and like depression for like 2 to 3 months, kind of dealing with some past shit that I had to find peace with, right? So there seems to be a turn of events here for y'all that is going to bring about a newer sense of connection. And I know these are dragons, but like I did hear Phoenix rising, and the fact that I even brought in my own story and like had shown transparency in that as well does tell me that like you're literally going to birth yourself from these ashes and grow into a new phoenix. Because Soul Fam, to be completely honest with y'all, I don't think that this is like the part of the phoenix's journey that they're getting older and then they have to like set themselves on fire and go through that pain. I think what this really beautiful Chinese New Year is offering you is rebirth. Wow. And you can use a lot of these past experiences as testaments to a more emotionally intelligent, mentally stable, and peaceful individual whom is able to not only express and understand, but also lead. And so, fam, for what it's worth, I mean, you're tuning in here, so obviously you believe in some form of spirituality and quote-unquote woo-woo. But you're really, truly divinely guided here. If we're going to talk about divine masculine energy, that shit encompasses unconditional love. It's beyond the narrative that we hear about like twin flames these days, okay? Which I definitely do not co-sign for, and yet I call myself a divine feminine that had experienced fragments of a twin flame journey, but without incorporating this false illusion and romanticized notion that crumbles society, but rather that embraces unconditional love in such a way that I've been changing narratives to empower, to lead, but in my own way, in the divine feminine way. Y'all are the masculine way here in this reading. So you're really going to push new doors and fight. And that doesn't necessarily mean like fists. It could just be you embracing the power that you hold within and allow that to truly set the new foundation and cater change in a way that you've never thought possible once upon a time. The devil keeps us stuck and stagnant. There's some interesting correlations with pile number 2 here. So, wow. I love my job. Like, what? This is crazy. Let's go with the shuffle that's in here. So, I heard do it again. All right. No problem. I just work here. Messages for pile number 3. The 7 of Swords. And yet you're also going to be able to discern who is for you, who is going to hurt you the way that you had unfortunately experienced in the past. Honestly, Divine Masculine, true spiritual power is often highly misunderstood, and it is judged and it is made fun of, and shit, I get it. I really do. And developing a level of discernment that will allow you to separate those whom are here to inflict more illusion onto you, limiting beliefs, pain, hurt, lies, deceit. You can discern. You have learned enough to allow the karmic loop to break, because you're choosing a different type of outlook and action that separates you from your past self of having to experience it over and over and over again. Something is different for y'all this year, pile number 3. And it is motivating you to push. Even if you are a divine feminine and you relate to that title and label, and you're tuning into pile number 3, it just simply means that you're using your femininity as a form of leadership. And you're channeling in your inner masculine, because we're made up of both. We have yin and yang energy in our bodies. Look at traditional Chinese medicine. You will literally see the different chakra points and meridians that live within the body, the left and right side, masculine, feminine, like how it all intertwines into one particular human being. And we are set to activate these different aspects of energies within ourselves at different points of our lives. So again, it doesn't matter if you're a male or female tuning in, but masculine energy and leadership and stepping into this power and knowing the magnitude of your protection and your ability to inflict change and set an absolute new foundation in the world and help destroy the old ways of being, which, welcome to the age of Aquarius, is our time to fucking do. You can truly help to manifest a new world. And this level of discernment, everything, all of the pain and everything that you had gone through in the past has set you up for exactly this fucking moment. Sheesh. Love it. I saw 1818 on my timer, by the way, so that may have something to do with it. I don't know, but if it resonates, let me know. I am told to take this card, and this is going to be in reverse. Okay, the Hanged Man in reverse, and now we're seeing things upright. We've done a full, I want to say 180 instead of a 360. So 360 will just bring him back into this position, but like, here we are. You're seeing things upright. You're no longer hanging out. Oh my God, sorry, my ADHD brain took me to hanging out down the street, the same old thing. That 70s show may have something in correlation to y'all, because that's funny. But nevertheless, anyway, sorry. Woo! Hanged Man, seeing things upright. You are now no longer hanging out in stagnation and waiting and contemplating and essentially kind of being more so in your feminine energy, you know what I mean? And waiting for things come to you. Now you're ready to pursue and go forth. And this card intentionally came out for y'all today. So again, it's like you're ready. You're seeing things differently, and things are changing for you in such a way that you are now ready to really truly step into your leadership power and ability. It's fucking awesome. Last 3 cards here for my soul fam before we go into the extended. We're going to be diving into more specific categories, by the way, in the extended. It's going to be in and around love, career, health, and any other advice that your guides want to share with y'all. So if you're interested, it's already listed in the description box below. I heard in reverse, so we'll do that. Cool. So we have the 8 of Pentacles. We have, what is this? The 10 of Swords in reverse. Wow. And the last card, I heard flip out. Cool. Oh, wow. The Knight of Swords. Okay, sir. Oops. Whew. I just heard knock it out of the park. Y'all are going to honestly surprise yourself in the absolute best ways. Not only are you going to shake the foundation of all those whom had opposed you and prove them wrong, you will be able to prove yourself right. Everything that you had ever envisioned for yourself, desired in this life, has never been a coincidence. Pile number 3. What inspires and motivates you, your talents, your wisdom, soul fam, is no coincidence. Matter of fact, it's more so your destiny. I just heard North Node. So it's very recommended for y'all to look into your North Node. And you do that, for those of y'all who don't know, by going to an astrology page. I would highly recommend AstroSeek or astrochart.com, one or the other. I am a fan of both. Plug in all of your birth details, your time of birth, your place of birth, and you will then be, and your birthday, and you will be able to then find the North Node. It kind of looks like a horseshoe. Okay, you have one that is, I guess, upside down, and then you have one that's upright. Both of them work together. One is your North Node, the one that's shaped like this, if you're watching this, and then your South Node kind of has like that U. And your South Node equates to karmic lessons that you are now to learn and phase out of and incorporate into the things that you are now meant to pursue, which that brings us to the topic of our North Node. Our North Node is kind of like our purpose, if you will, our destiny in this particular lifetime. And we take the things that we have learned from our past life, and if you don't resonate with things like past lives, things from our childhood and our younger years, and we cultivate all of those experiences and limiting beliefs and fears and transmute them into your path in a way, you know, and you forge your own path all the time. But I mention again, pile number 3, y'all are trailblazers. So if you're wondering how, I would highly recommend looking up what your North Node is, taking that information. Like, for example, I have my North Node in Aquarius. I would then simply type in North Node in Aquarius on YouTube or into Google and listen to people tell me about me. Immediately when you plug in your North Node, they will be talking to you about your South Node, okay? I would additionally recommend taking a look at where your North Node is placed in that wheel, okay? Like which house it's in. So you have this, I don't know why I have to teach you this, but apparently some of y'all just, whatever. So you have like that wheel, right? That pie chart that's split up into 12. Wherever it is that your North Node lies, look that up as well. So my North Node is in Aquarius in the 3rd house. That also means that my South Node is in Leo in the 8th house. So my karma, my experiences, past life and or this childhood is all based in and around more so the occult realms, death and et cetera, that the 8th house holds, okay? And it's opposite the house, the 3rd house of intellect and communication, and also in Aquarius, so it's about everybody else. So to use myself as an example, I transmuted my fears of my own spirituality and ways of being into being able to communicate and transform humanity by educating, by showing up, by communicating. And it took me a while to be able to do this, Soul Fam. This wasn't just me one day deciding, oh, I'm just going to be a fortune teller. No. Like, this is who I innately am and how I came about to be. And of course, if you guys want to look into that particular placement of mine, go ahead and do your own research. But either way, it does speak a lot about the direction that I choose to head in right now. And the more that you pursue your North Node, the more that you end up stepping out of those karmic loops. And what karma is a repeated lesson that is becoming more and more painful every single time until you choose to step out of it with a new frame of mind, with a new action and reaction that is different than you maintaining that loop. Y'all feel me? So, highly recommended. Because, especially when it comes to the mental games, the 10 of Swords in reverse right now is telling me that you're really letting go of this mental load on your brain that has fragmented you, that has kept you small and silent and stagnant and feeling as though you have like the weight of the world on your shoulders. You've let that go. And the Knight of Swords comes on in to introduce research, to also introduce very quick energy. The Knight of Swords is the quickest knight. Swords are affiliated with air, with light, the speed of light. Your intellect, your thoughts can carry you forward and thus, again, change the fucking world as we know it. Just because you choose to step out of your own way. The Eight of Pentacles is just simply saying that you're going to be very diligent in taking the time to learn more about yourself, to ignite this leadership passion within you, and use that to inspire you and so many people that you come across. And I won't lie, Soul Fam, sometimes that means that you gotta let go of people who no longer will align to this new version of you. And that might hurt. Yes, I know, I've been there too. There are many people, many best friends that I genuinely thought could be there with me forever. And yet, for personal reasons, they dropped off or I had to cut them off. And it hurt me to do that, and yet, that's what leaders have to do sometimes. Now that was also when I was more so in that masculine energy that was ignited. And then I fell back into that feminine energy and I allowed this beautiful new community to flood on in. People of equal energetic value who appreciate me, who love me. Y'all can have that too. And trust me, pile number 3, people are gonna want to stand behind you and beside you. They will. Your how is hidden in your North Node. And it will require some work and trials and tribulation and time. But then again, as I'm recording this and uploading this, it is February 10th. This reading is for the entire Chinese New Year of the Dragon, which is until January 29th, 2025. Is basically an entire year. So have patience with yourself as well. Offer yourself that patience that likely you hadn't received from others before. Offer yourself the compassion and the grace that people always offered you judgment on, and whatever else. Honestly, I don't even want to sit and resonate on your past because, well, it's exactly that. It's your past. And now it's time to transmute it. So I'm excited to start diving into your extended. I did hear my snaps, which is my beautiful little cool psychic clairaudient way of saying, shut up. You're done right now. And the messages have been served. So again, if you're interested, check out the links below. Otherwise, I really, truly hope you like and subscribe and you comment down your resonances below. Drop down some fire emojis, okay, to let me know that you are feeling fired up and inspired to lead so that I can send you some really wonderful energy myself and encourage you to keep on going, because this type of energy here, this divine masculine power of creation is fucking needed, and it's being called upon right now. So I am excited to have y'all awaken and continue to step forward into that power and become the beacon of wonderful intellect that we need in this world right now. And it may feel a little bit new, but that's okay. Like I said, you could do it scared anyway. That's what true leaders do. So, damn. I love it. I'm personally very attracted to this energy. So, love to see it, love to feel it. It was an absolute pleasure to read for y'all today. If I won't see you in the extended, that's cool. I do hope that I will see you in another reading or perhaps another pile, and I wish you all the best in this beautiful transformation that you're about to embark on. Thanks. Peace.